Today I want to talk about breaking through plateaus. Now this pertains to bodybuilders as well as powerlifters. This was a real problem back in the 80s. We talked about plateaus all the time because we didn't know how to train. So let's start with the bodybuilders and then I'll follow up with the powerlifters. To break through a plateau as a bodybuilder when you're not getting the growth you want as fast as you want it requires an increase in intensity. And intensity comes in a number of forms. It comes in the number of reps you do per set. It comes in the time between sets and the number of sets that you do. So what you want to do is, instead of going 8, 9, 10 reps, you go to failure. That last rep's all you can do, okay? And then as far as the time between sets, just long enough to set it down, change the weight, change the pin in the selectorized machine, and you're back on the next set. And that's just a few seconds. It's not 60 seconds, it's not 30 seconds, it's more like 5 seconds, maybe less, okay? And then as far as the number of sets, I remember when we used to do 3 sets per body part. Now we know better. Now we know we need 30 sets per body part. So if I do arms, I'm going to do 60 sets because I'm going to do my triceps and my biceps the same day, okay? So this is intensity. It's the number of reps, the number of sets, and the time between sets. So if you can't do this, you're having problems achieving this intensity, look at your food. Are you eating enough? Are you eating enough carbs to burn as fuel to keep you going during the workout? You might have to take a pre-workout drink with some caffeine in it. That would help greatly, but you can do it. I've done it all my life. It's not a problem. Now, as far as powerlifting is concerned, when you reach a plateau, it's probably because you're not training right. Okay, in the old days, it was extremely common to see the guys maxing out every day. And I'm not kidding. I mean, it's hard to believe with the knowledge we have today, but back in the 80s, that was very common. And there were a lot of injuries as a result of that and a lot of frustration. So to overcome a plateau in powerlifting, you need to run a cycle where you're increasing the weight every week, maybe only by 5 pounds. That's plenty. And like I said before in some of my past videos, if I'm doing deadlifts and I'm doing triples, work sets, 500 for 3, I can do 4, but I don't want to. I want to leave that momentum. I'll give myself a little rest and momentum to build into the next week, so I don't, you can actually max out with reps. You can max out, say if all I can pull is 580 and I pull that, my body's done. That's my max. I can't lift again for another 2 weeks and I have to start at the bottom, right? You can do the same thing with reps. You can actually max out with reps. So I always leave that last rep available, but I don't take it. And that way I ride that momentum into the next week, And I do that for 8, 12 weeks, okay? Another thing that can help you break through plateaus in powerlifting is with assistance work, the proper assistance work. Now, for instance, in the deadlift, you want to do direct movements, okay? I don't want to do leg curls, lying leg curls, but I want to do things like deficit deadlifts or lifting off a block, which is a direct movement. It's basically the deadlift. You're just at a higher height, and you're learning to drive with your legs, okay? You're getting a longer stretch. Now, as far as the squat, you can do things like box squats. You can do things like squatting with no equipment, raw squatting. That will help you develop depth. There are a number of things. The Golgi tendon reflex platform. There are some that are called the Shark. You'll have to look this up. John Perillo has one where you wear a special harness and there's a hole in the platform and it allows you to get very, very deep with heavy weight that's in the center of gravity, okay, attached to this harness. It's directly below your body. You have spotters and it works that Golgi tendon reflex deeper and deeper, and it helps you not only get better depth, but it also helps you very, very greatly increase the amount of weight you can squat. In regards to the bench, it's widely known that close grip bench presses for your triceps will make your bench press go up. That's another direct movement. It's another a bench press movement. You're just having your hands in closer together, but it does just work basically the triceps. You will feel a little bit in your shoulders, but these are what we call direct movements. You don't want to do cable work for your triceps to help your bench, because they won't. That's bodybuilding, and that's fine, but that's not what you want to do to break a plateau in your bench press. So always try to look for direct movements as assistance exercises for powerlifting.